from the Digital Media Center on the campus of Southern Oregon University in Ashland, Oregon. This is Ramping Up Your English, an educational program for intermediate level English language learners. Here's your host for Ramping Up Your English, John Letts.
Welcome to Ramping Up Your English, winner of the Southern Oregon Television Award for Program of the Year and the Award for Best Educational Program. I'm the host and producer, John Letts. Ramping Up Your English is an educational support program for intermediate English learners. It's a program for people from all language backgrounds. Ramping Up Your English is also for people of all ages. If you've already passed the beginning stages of learning English and you want to reach higher levels of proficiency, this program is designed to meet your needs. We take a content-based approach to helping you reach higher levels of English proficiency. Our current thematic unit is animals. This is segment 1 of episode 56. Check out this animal scene. Can you name the animals you see here? How about the continent on which the video was shot? Well, if your answer is elephants and Africa, you're right. And you understood English enough to understand my English question well enough to answer it. Well, you see, today's idea for today's show, this episode, is to introduce more animals and to reinforce your knowledge of vocabulary having to do with animals. Now, there are two kinds of elephants, African and Asian. They have many traits in common, like their large size and the fact that they keep growing as long as they're alive. There are some noticeable differences, though. Asian elephants don't grow as large as their African cousins. The Asian elephant has smaller ears and also has only one lip at the end of its trunk. Many Asian elephants are trained to do heavy work, like carrying logs. African elephants are not used for that kind of labor, but they are trained for circuses and zoos. And this program, as it's being recorded, what's happened is the Barnum and Bailey Circus, known as the greatest show on earth, stopped using elephants in its circus because of concerns about the training methods. Then the circus folded its big tent for the last time and closed. Elephants like this one can still be seen in zoos. In the spirit of disclosure, I've seen elephants perform at the greatest show on earth, and I've ridden on the back of an elephant in a parade. Now, I've never traveled to Africa to see elephants in their natural habitat. Let's learn more about Earth's largest mammal in this video.
Peering out from behind vegetation, we see Earth's largest land mammal, an African elephant. The long trunk and huge floppy ears leave no doubt. Elephants are found on the plains of Africa, where they live in small family groups led by maternal leaders. But these elephants live in captivity in a place called Wildlife Safari in Winston, Oregon. For most of us working people, going to Africa to see this megafauna in situ is out of the question. But wildlife parks and zoos give us a chance to see African elephants closer to home. Wildlife Safari offers summer camps for children, and these kids are seeing this elephant close up, each camper feeding her a carrot and then getting to touch her sensitive trunk.
Isn't she a good girl? She's very smart. So Valerie's going to show off her ears to you, and that's the best clue as to what kind of elephant she is. Do you guys know if she's an African or an Asian elephant? Go ahead. She is an African elephant. Good job. So you can tell she knows she's an African elephant. So you can help her. You can see that her big old ears, they go all the way below her chin, they go all the way back to her shoulder.
This elephant is Valerie. She's trained. Look closely to see her treat fly into her mouth.
Valerie, what do you think about being dirty?
I think it's time we're going to have to give Valerie a bath here, so I think you guys are going to head back to
Here's the highlight of the kids' summer camp, feeding the elephant and touching her trunk.
How old is she? She's 34 years old.
As the campers take their turns, others ask questions about the elephants.
So a lot of times if they need to pick something up off the ground with their nose, they'll feel around with those whiskers first to make sure it's not something bad that they shouldn't be picking up.
Kids learn about the functions of an elephant's
They eat
trunk.
with them, they drink with them, they breathe through them, so it's pretty important to them. Does anyone have a guess at how much food they eat every day? Go ahead. They eat a lot of pounds. They eat about 200 pounds of food every day per elephant. So it's a pretty big job getting them their food. They eat about 150 to 175 pounds of hay every day. The rest is things like produce, which is what you guys are feeding for now. So
They even gave me a turn at feeding the elephant.
Give her a nice hat.
I can see what
Just let her go, I guess. Yeah, because
well, I'm gonna say goodbye, you guys. You can give her my Okay, guys, you're gonna follow me. We're gonna head back to the barn.
Watch the treat fly into her mouth. Also, notice the hand signal the trainer gives to Valerie.
Guys, you're gonna follow me. We're gonna head back to the barn. We'll keep you guys in the shade. It's pretty hot today.
awesome. Yeah.
I don't know if this elephant was trained or if it had a name, but it did hang around during the presentation. Wildlife Safari has several elephants, and the park's greatest expense is feeding them and all the other animals people can see while driving through. That's probably the biggest challenge for the Oakland, California Zoo as well. You don't see these elephants lined up at a feeding trough. It's important to their health, physical, mental, and emotional, that they are challenged to find food in a different place each time. Now, the challenge doesn't seem all that great, but it does keep them active. The body parts that make elephants so easy to identify help them survive in their natural habitats. Their great body size saves them from many, but not all, predators. Their long trunks help them locate food and move it to their mouths. And their big floppy ears, they help radiate excess body heat, helping them regulate their core temperature. Their white tusks help them fight off enemies, but have also been a death warrant. Prized for their ivory, elephants are murdered in shocking numbers by poachers, a problem that has been addressed for some time by most governments, but still persists. Since those dental protrusions often cause serious health problems in captivity, those tusks are often cut short. This elephant is using its trunk to find food. The nostril end is very sensitive, telling the elephant what's edible and what's not. They can grab things with that trunk's end and bring the food up to their mouth. Elephants are not furry creatures, but they do have some widely spaced hairs on their craggy, sensitive skin. Their feet are round in shape, and their legs are like tree trunks, wide cylinders that support up to 7 tons of weight. Africa has both savanna elephants and smaller forest elephants. Most elephants live in matriarchal groups from 8 to 12 members, but there are herds of up to 100 elephants. Individual elephants never stop growing. They keep getting bigger until they die. Efforts continue to protect these magnificent animals. Elephant preserves and national parks exist in Africa to carry on this vital work.